In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're back. We're finishing up our series today. Hopefully, we're talking about quarter life crisis, ages 18 to 24, 25-ish. Again, if you've listened to the parts 1 and 2, you know there was a study done, and we're going through this study and really trying to find out why young people are having such a hard time today just functioning. I guess that's the best way to put it. Functioning in society.
Yeah.
And they're challenges, unique challenges for this age group. And we're going through this study and giving you the results of that. And also we'll get to things that you can do if you have somebody who's in that age group, maybe a parent, or if you're in that age group yourself.
Okay.
And as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown. Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit.
Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist, and we're back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Well, hello.
Well, hello, Matt.
There it is again.
I misdrank my drink. It went a little bit down the wrong pipe.
Oh,
there.
You got a frog in your throat.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ribbit.
Yes. So we're here in the palatial Southfield Podcast Your Voice studios.
Yes, we are.
Doing a podcast, hanging out. That is Matt Fox, the other voice you hear.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. And we're here. We're glad to be back. We took a week off last week in honor of Lions Monday Night Football, which turned out extremely well.
Yes, it did.
I mean, surprisingly, it got a little hairy little bit.
You know who has more touchdown catches than Mr. Kelsey from the Chiefs?
Sam Laporta.
Jared Goff.
Oh, Jared Goff. Yeah. I get it. Yes, I get that. Yeah. So we'll see. So far, so good. Bye week this week, so we didn't lose.
Nope.
So here we are. Let me tell you, folks, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. And surprisingly enough, my fall schedule is pretty much open right now. So if you're looking for a show, now's the time. I got a couple scheduled in December for holiday gatherings.
Okay.
But yeah, for like October, November, I don't have a lot on the schedule. So if you're looking for a show, reach out, go right to the website. You can get a quote in minutes. You don't even have to talk to anybody. Let me tell you my social media links. Facebook and YouTube are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat and Instagram are both Motor City Hypno, HYPNO.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Matt banged into the table. Almost knocked everything over.
It was it was my big leg.
My
Swear to God.
Oh, great Odin's Raven.
I ain't listening to you no more.
I'm not pole vaulting over here or anything, so you know.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I'm a little slappy at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
That's okay. It's good to be slappy. That means we're happy.
Yes, it is.
Yes, absolutely. So, as we do on every episode, a free hypnosis guide is always there for the taking. Just text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510.
Yes.
And that will be in the show notes as well. So you can just hop in there if you don't remember the number. and get your free hypnosis guide. It will also direct you to a Google review for the Motor City Hypnotist. And you can leave a review on the podcast. You can leave it if you've seen a show, or you can just leave it because you like me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I do it because I
good
like
reviews
it.
are always a plus, because again, it just drives more people to my my website and to my social media. And that is great. Important thing, wherever you're listening, whether it's on a podcast platform, maybe you're watching us on Facebook Live, which we do a Facebook Live every Monday when we record from 8 to 9, 8, give or take a few minutes. Sometimes we're early, sometimes a couple. It's right around 8 to 9. But you can watch us live on YouTube on the Facebook page, Motor City Hypnotist, and you can actually engage with the show, ask us questions, post comments.
Yeah.
Tell us to get lost, whatever you want to do, whatever's your prerogative, it's your, you can put in whatever you want. But again, join us, and then we can have a kind of a conversation and answer questions as well. And again, wherever you're listening, if it's on a podcast platform, please leave a review and then connect, like, join, whatever you have to do on your platform to get the show when it drops every Tuesday and Thursday.
Perfect.
All righty. It is time.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, sir. So, this is a hiking story. It's a cool story. I'll start reading it.
So it won't take us a while to get there?
It might.
All
Depends
right.
on what path we take.
All right. Fair enough.
Yes. A woman who broke her leg while hiking was rescued by a trio of strapping young whippersnappers who carried her all the way down a mountain on their backs.
Okay.
Even realizing she'd be alone for the 3.2-mile trek, Ursula Bannister had been confident of getting to the place where she scattered her mother's ashes 23 years ago. She had gone up many times before. For anyone who's taken the trail to High Rock Lookout, a viewpoint near Ashford in Washington, they'll know it's hard and steep. As the 79-year-old Bannister predicted, she made it to the top, left some flowers, and began heading back down.
Okay.
Catching a hole in the trail bed with her foot, she fell forward hard, and by the time she turned herself right side up, she saw her foot was pointing the wrong way.
That's not good.
No, that's not good.
I'm
cringing just reading it.
I'm not a medical professional, and
yeah, I'd have to say that not supposed to work that way.
No.
Yes. In pain, she cried out for help, and before long, a group of 3 young hikers came to her side and called 911.
Okay.
A search and rescue team said they'd be there in 5 hours.
So this
discouraging everybody. This is the last words of those statements.
This isn't Detroit in the 1980s.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
5 hours.
Yeah.
What? I could get there in 5 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. 20-year-old Troy May, an Air Force airman, was hiking up to the lookout that day with his fiance and friend Leighton Allen. Bannister asked them if they had any painkillers, to which they replied they did not, and realizing the woman had nothing to help her strap in for 5 upcoming hours of agony, May took action. I knew I was capable of carrying her down, May told the Washington Post. I really didn't make much of a decision. I just knew I needed to carry her down if I could.
Okay.
Lifting her gently onto his back, he began the slow, careful journey downhill, hiking 3/4 of the 1.8 miles that remained on Bannister's journey, while Allen took care of the home stretch. On the way, they passed occupational therapist Emily O'Brien, who led Bannister through some breathing exercises, and physical therapist Tim Meyer, who splinted her leg.
Jesus.
So think about this. You're on this mountain climb or trip down, breaks her foot.
In a very remote area.
In a very remote area, these young hikers show up along with an occupational therapist and a physical therapist. Like, what are the chances? Like, these are one of these things where you kind of say the universe aligned to help this woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
somebody,
it's beyond coincidental.
Somebody was watching.
Yes.
And she was actually, I think I know who was watching and helping her out.
Oh no. What?
It was Mom, because she had spread her ashes all over the place.
Oh,
see,
good point, Matt. I thought
where were you going?
No! Don't shut me up.
I don't know. I was afraid of where you were going.
It was Mom.
No, that's great. That's awesome. Yes, it was Mom. Mom probably arranged this to happen. Lifting her gently onto his back, he began the slow, careful journey downhill. Oh, I read that. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
With the extra hands, May was able to move more assuredly and keep enough puff in his lungs to talk to Bannister on the way down to try to keep her mind off the pain.
Got it.
They asked her about her life as a child, moving to the United States from Germany in 1959, having been born just after the fall of the Third Reich. And May would later recall she had a lot of cool stories. Once they arrived at the trailhead, Alan sped Bannister off to Tacoma General Hospital, where doctors told her she had a compound break of the tibia, fibula, and heel bone.
Jesus.
I can't imagine what pain she was in.
Yeah.
Even though she can't walk on it, but even being on somebody's back as they jostle about,
Yep.
I can't imagine how much that had to hurt.
Man.
They were impressed with Meyer's splint and said it might have been a lot worse. She would leave the hospital late that night as her leg was too swollen and inflamed to operate on.
Sure.
She would eventually receive 11 screws and a titanium plate and embark on a long road to recovery that saw some of her rescue team come and visit her, including May, who won an Air Force medal for his efforts.
Good for him.
Yep. I was just overwhelmed with gratitude that these people literally came out of the woods to help me, and they were totally unselfish and kind, Bannister said, adding that the friendship she gained in May and the others was worth more than the pain and discomfort she experienced.
That's crazy.
So yeah, to everybody.
Mom was watching.
Yeah, Mom was watching over after you went back and put flowers where you spread her ashes.
Yep.
I'm trying to look at names. Ursula Bannister, the victim who broke her foot.
Okay.
Definitely Air Force. Troy May, the Air Force Airman.
Okay. Somebody. Hello.
Emily O'Brien is the occupational therapist.
Sure.
And physical therapist Tim Meyer. I wanted to get all the names.
Got it.
Because all of them, great story. Definitely winner of the week.
Thank you.
That's how winning is done.
That's a wild, crazy story.
Yeah, it's amazing things that happen. Like I know there's news outlets all over the country and newspapers and internet and stories and Facebook but I mean, this just happened within the last few weeks. So
wow.
It's you would think you'd see these stories
a little bit more
often.
Yeah, I get you.
Because most of the time our winners of the week are stories I've never heard or didn't know, and they've happened recently.
That's wow. The planets aligned.
They did
for
definitely,
Ursula. Yes.
definitely for Ursula.
So, back to it.
So here we go.
Are we in the third part of our third?
We're quarter life crisis, and we're doing part 3 today.
All right.
So we ended part 2 talking about in just a very quick overview. If you haven't listened to parts 1 and 2, you can jump back and catch up, or you can listen now and go back to get those later. But there was a study done earlier this year about quarter life crisis is what they're calling it. And that's anywhere from ages 18 to 24-ish, 25-ish maybe.
Sure.
And long story short, that these young people are experiencing more, I'm not going to say more, but a different set of challenges and issues as far as just not having direction or not having a specific path to follow, or just not being able to get through school or not knowing what they want to do. Again, it's a lot of upheaval, a lot of unknown, and a lot of indecisiveness.
Well, did you know what you wanted to do when you were 22, 23?
Well, at 22, I did, because I just finished school.
Okay.
But from 18, no. Now here's the thing though. Let me give you a little bit of my little story. So I was not a great student in high school. I was average.
No,
like my GPA is like 2.9.
Yeah, same.
Wasn't even 3. So even the thought of college, I was like, God, can I do this? I mean, really in my mind. And no one in my family had ever gone to college.
Okay.
So it was just a whole new avenue. So So to even figure out how to do this, and then we're talking, and think about this, I am old, way before the internet.
Mm-hmm.
How do you apply for student aid?
Right.
Everything was on paper that you had to mail.
It was in triplicate.
And
Microfiche.
probably like what do they call it when the blue stuff, the
resin,
they make it duplicates.
Yeah. That was a 3-part carbon.
Yeah. Carbon copy. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But I mean, then there was nowhere to go find information except to call people and try to find out and call the school.
And they're using DOS.
Yeah, they're using they're putting cards in the computer. Ka-chunka. The punch card computer.
Your floppy disk is around here somewhere.
So there was no way to get this information readily. So long story short, it took me forever to figure out how to even apply for college and how to do it was nobody in my family could help me because nobody ever went.
Right.
So I went to college thinking I have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea where I wanted to go, but I will say that from the age of my senior year in high school through college, I worked at a summer camp every year.
Sure.
As a camp counselor.
Okay.
So I already kind of was moving in that direction as far as my career.
Evolving into something.
Yes. Because I loved those summers at camp. I found them just very rewarding, and it was fantastic to spend a whole summer away from home, even at age 17.
Sure, of course.
It was great, and I enjoyed that. And I thought, maybe this is something I could do. So as I got to school, I was kind of leaning that way, but again, I still wasn't sure. So I didn't declare my major till my junior year
of college.
Okay. And then at that point it went to psychology.
Okay.
So I got lucky because I was doing something that I already thought I would like to do for the rest of my life as a career. And that worked out for me. But a lot of kids, a lot of young people, they just don't know. And part of the study says that they feel pressured by parents, by friends, by advisors, by teachers. Oh, you need to do this. You need to do that. And we talked real quickly about a YouTuber, and we'll put the link in the show notes for his channel, that he went through this when he was a young kid. His parents said, "You're going to be a doctor." He didn't have a choice. He flunked out of college, didn't go to medical school, and spent 3 or 4 years trying to find himself.
Right.
Eventually, he said he had to go through this crisis to realize what he really wanted to do. Ended up going back to medical school and becoming a doctor.
Okay.
After he got over that, I don't know what you would call it, a difficulty, a rough time, a midlife crisis, a quarter life crisis, which is what he was going through.
Quarter life crisis. Thank you.
Yes. So then we got to the point where we're talking about stages of this crisis, and we started talking last episode about stage 1, which we call locked in, and this is when people are trying to figure out what they want to do in life, and they haven't lived enough life to really know a lot of things that could be possible or could be in their skill set.
Not enough experience.
Yeah. Right. Not enough life experience to decide what they really want to do. And it gives you young people the sense of powerlessness or feeling trapped because they're being pushed in a certain direction, possibly. And they're not sure they want to go there. And at the same time, they're trying to balance social life and school and responsibilities. And really, here's the thing. I've noticed it this year specifically. Whenever I do my grad shows, and for those of you know, when I do my hypnosis shows in grad season, I do a lot of them for a lot of schools, most of them in Michigan, but a lot of them all over the country. And one of the things I say when I do these grad shows, I'm like, hey, well, one of the things I say in my pre-talk, I'm like, welcome to adulthood. And most of the time, everybody cheers and claps. This year, I noticed there was a lot of like, boo, like just a negative reaction to that comment.
I don't want to grow up.
It's and it sounds childish, but again, these people are they're scared.
Yeah.
They don't want that responsibility.
We want to be like Peter Pan. We don't want to grow up.
So the stuck phase is what happens, and people don't know how to get past that. So they have this existential crisis, this mental and emotional and physical crisis. Here's the other thing that plays into this, both male and female.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of body image issues.
You don't say.
Coming out of high school, going into college.
I don't know what that is. I'm just kidding. It's terrible.
And it seems worse now. And I am going to sound like the old man down the block. It has to do with social media.
Mm-hmm.
People portraying what you want them to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Social media is not reality. There is some truth there, but
you don't know what's going on.
You're never gonna. And I'll use Facebook as an example because I'm old. I am on the young, hipper things like Instagram and Snapchat, but Facebook is where I see most of this. And people will always react. Oh, they got it together. Look at that. And no, they're just showing you what they want you to see.
Mm-hmm. They're only showing you the good things.
They're only showing you what they allow you to see.
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Exactly.
You really don't.
Yes.
That filter covers a lot of things, let's just say.
So, and what happens in this stage, this phase 1, this locked in stage, is that there is, again, this identity crisis. And the outward identity has kind of been formed to adapt to the roles that you're being pushed into.
Mm-hmm.
And that, unfortunately, it's not satisfying because you feel like you're faking it.
Yeah.
You feel like you're doing it just because somebody told you to do it. It's not what you really want.
What was the old expression? Peer pressure?
Uh-huh. Well, in this, though, it could be parent pressure.
Yeah.
It could be professor pressure.
Sure,
it could be teacher
sure.
pressure. It could be friend, and now
Yeah.
it could be actual peer pressure. Yes. So the reason why this is important is that without going through this crisis, now I'm not saying everybody has to go through this.
Not everybody does.
But in the most part, you in order to make change, you have to have something push you.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are not, we're not wired just to change. We're not wired to make change. We're wired to be comfortable in what we're doing.
We're wired to make our own choices. That's just the freedom of choice. That's what we have. And as individuals, as human beings, and as the country that we live in, we have that choice.
Yes.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But we don't know if the choice that we're making is the right one for us because we're scared.
Well, in this sense of unhappiness, that's what's going to prompt you to make change. So here's the thing, and I can say it very generally. Most people who are happy don't want to change anything.
Sure.
Because they're happy.
Yeah.
Things are good. I don't want to change anything.
But they're unhappy as well, but they don't want to change anything because they're afraid of rejection. They're afraid they're
afraid of disappointing someone else,
disappointing themselves, disappointing someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they may choose to stay unhappy because it's the right thing to do for everyone around them.
Yes.
But not for them personally.
Right.
And that's the crises that they're running into.
And then what this leads to, and I'm going to go into the other associated difficulties that you're going to have, is that typically it involves compulsive activities, drinking, drug use,
masturbation.
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
I'll excuse myself.
I need a second.
What in blazes are you talking about?
Yeah. But it could be that.
Yeah.
Any kind of compulsive behavior that's not healthy. Now, I guess, no, I'm not going to do that. We can go off on a tangent about masturbation. We're not going to do that.
I'm
listening to you no more.
I'm just poking the bear over here is all I'm doing.
Sexy time.
Yeah. So what happens is, again, we feel internally trapped in this phase and we turn to substances. We don't enjoy our life. So again, we're going to go into compulsive behaviors. Again, drugs, alcohol, video games, pornography.
Yep.
Which I guess leads to masturbation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bring up Randy on South Park. If you know the reference I'm talking about.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay,
I'm gonna
Matt
go,
does.
Yeah, I'm going to go fill up my glass.
No! Don't shut me up!
You keep going. I need more.
I'm going to keep going. You get another drink there, Matt. So these activities, these compulsive activities that we do is just to help us cope. It's an escape. It's an escape to get away from the decision-making and the worry about the future and what you're going to do in relationships and your own self-esteem issues. And that's, and oftentimes people get stuck in this phase and they're never able to move forward. Because again, with these compulsive activities, especially drugs and alcohol, a lot of times this is when people get addicted. This is when people start using things that they can't stop. And this ends up being a long-term issue into adulthood. So what happens is these things you use these things as coping skills because you think your life is unfixable. So we're not going to try that. We're just going to go to these things that make me feel better. And that's where the problem comes. And here's the thing, that it's helping you cope with an unfixable life, which leads us on to phase 2. So phase 2 begins, and this is called separation. Phase 2 is called separation. And that's when we either physically or mentally check out of our situation. So you're saying to yourself, I don't want to do this anymore. I feel trapped. I can't change my life right now. I don't want to go back. And then here's the other thing that happens in phase 2 when you get the separation is you feel like you've wasted time.
Yeah.
And this can be such a gut punch for young people, is that say that they go to school or they don't go to school or whatever path you take that you feel like you've been pushed into, or you went there just by default. After 3 or 4 years, you realize, I don't want to do this. And then you feel like you've wasted this time. So now you feel obligated to continue no matter what.
Okay.
And that doesn't make you happy because it's not what you want to do.
Then you actually may have disappointed people around you.
Right. And at that point, you look like, oh, I've wasted all this time. And this happens in relationships. And this is a good analogy to pull out right now. How many people stay in relationships because it is what it is. I don't have to look for somebody new, even though I'm not thrilled with this relationship. It's something. They settle.
Mm-hmm. Many folks do that.
Yes. Many folks do that. Many folks do that into marriage, and for years of marriage, they do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that does happen.
They'll change.
So when you physically and mentally check out, and this is going to sound counterintuitive, but this is a necessary step. This has to happen to get past what you're going through. So this process of the quarter life crisis, it's not a problem. If you look at it this way, it's not a problem to be fixed. It's
That doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be
experienced. It needs to be experienced. Good call, Matt. That's exactly how I would put it.
Thank you.
So yes, instead of fighting it, and again, this sounds counterintuitive, you have to go through this. And as unpleasant as it is, without going through this, you're not going to get to where you want to be. So of course, this is going to mean a big emotional challenge for you with emotions like guilt, sadness, anxiety, relief, shame, negative self-evaluations. So it's difficult because when you feel like you've checked out, you feel like you're just burnout and you have no motivation to do anything. And it's at that point, when there's no motivation, you feel a pressure to find motivation.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm just not motivated. I don't feel like doing anything. And then this whole self-deprecating self-talk comes in, like, oh, I'm a piece of crap. I can't do anything. I'm never going to be successful. All my friends have graduated from college and are working. It's this comparative analogy that makes you feel worse.
That's it.
And you feel guilty because you don't feel like you're putting forth the effort that you should be to get where you want to be.
When you're going through that and you're seeing your friends and relatives, that are of the same age, you see them being successful and they're committing, they know what they want to do. And you're sitting back and you're going, what about me? You know what? It's tough to do because you're inside your own head, but if you were to celebrate their successes, you'll get that itch.
I mean, that's certainly possible. I think the difficulty comes when you see other people being successful. Sometimes there's this negative connotation that,
but you gotta
F
work
them.
Yeah.
They're doing better than I am.
But that's a mindset. Where you have to take that mindset.
But see, that's the difficulty.
Yes,
and that's the hard thing.
And what I'm trying to say is, if you're having those negative thoughts and those, you got to change your thinking, right? You got to like, okay, I'm proud of them for what they've done. I might use them as a resource to help me understand what they did so I can kind of emulate and get to that point where I do feel that's you got to change how you think about that whole process.
Well, I mean, the whole theme of this show is change your thinking, change your life. And that's the most difficult thing for human beings to do, is change the way they think, because we've been trained, and you have whole life experiences, especially when you're older, like we are. Well, me, not you, Matt. You know,
hey, I'll be. Listen,
I mean, I'm older than you are.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
But here's, and I want you to get into this in the next episode.
Yeah,
because I'm sure we'll get there. So how do these folks that are going through a quarter life crisis make that switch to wanting to and get through this experience? What do they need to do to get through that?
Definitely, we're gonna get into that, because there's a stage 2B that we're gonna hit in a moment.
Okay.
But what happens in phase 2 is, this is where a lot of people get stuck, and this is where a lot of people spend many years of their lives.
And that's,
I mean, when I see people every day for therapy, most people are stuck in this. They might be working, they might have a relationship, but they're not happy.
Yeah, they're in a rut.
They're in a funk. They're in a rut.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're stuck there because they don't know how to get out of it. And there is some fear. Sometimes, I can't remember the exact saying. You can help me out, Matt, if you think of it. But the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. I think that's the saying.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right. So sometimes people just feel like, this is it. This is all I have. So that's it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, folks, we're going to go back, and we have a couple other stages, and then I'm going to give you some direction as far as what you can do to move out of this, or to more expediently
get through it. Okay.
So that you can be on track to where you want to be.
Got it.
So we'll return next episode for Quarter Life Crisis Part 4. And if we need some, we'll do it, because I want to make sure I cover everything clearly for everyone.
If we have to do a part 5.
We have to do it, and that's fine, because we do a lot of multi-part things, because there's so much information. It's hard to put it into 20 minutes. It really is. Yeah. So we're going to come back, and we're going to do Quarter Life Crisis Part 4 coming up. Before we do that, somebody needs to be adopted.
Okay, who is it?
It's Kisa. Kisa's born June of 2024, so a few months old.
Yeah, puppy.
Mixed breed, female. She'll be about 40 pounds. She's dog friendly, cat friendly is unknown, kid friendly over 10.
Okay.
And there's Kisa.
Oh, look at the face. My goodness.
I know. Look at that.
That is an adorable pup.
Isn't it?
So those of you that are listening to the audio, pop into the video feed.
Go to the Motor City Hypnotist on Facebook.
Look, you got to see
the video feed will be there. It's right at the end of each episode.
I want that. I want Kisa.
Yeah. Kisa needs a home. Here you go, Matt. You can take a closer look there.
Aw. Kisa. Oh, she's adorable.
Yeah, isn't she?
Mixed breed. So I'm kind of thinking of the mixed breed. I'm seeing the ears. The ears are a little German Shepherd, or
maybe.
Yeah. Or and then the face is kind of a beagle type deal. She's just cute as a button.
I almost kind of see terrier in there as well.
Thank you, terrier. Yes,
I do a little bit.
Yes.
Just as far as the face shape.
Yes. She's adorable.
Yeah. So Kisa needs a home. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt.
Yes.
Kisa's there. She's waiting.
She's a puppy.
She wants to go home. Look at that.
She is 3 months old.
Adopt me.
She's 3 months old. 4 months old.
Yep.
She's
beautiful
adorable.
puppy.
Yes.
All righty, folks. So we'll be back. Those of you on Facebook Live, stick around. We're going to record our next episode. Those of you listening to audio, whatever platform you're on, skip ahead to the next episode. If it's not there yet, it will be on Tuesday or Thursday. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.
So, back to it.
Sorry, wrong one. All right. Be funny if that student was listening. In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're still talking about quarter life crisis. This is part 4. I know it's a lot of information, but we want to make sure we cover this clearly because I think it's really a big issue right now. And I want to get you guys to understand it and then also direct you to how you can help yourself or help somebody that you know possibly.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. So yes, quarter life crisis part 4. Stay tuned because and we do every episode, we're giving away a free hypnosis guide. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown. Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit. Now you're talking, brother. I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit to Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? This is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Yes, you are.
Yes, we are. That is Matt Voice, the other voice you hear.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. And we're here in the Podcast Your Voice, Southfield, palatial Southfield Studios.
I love that word.
Doing a podcast, having a drink, and hanging out. Jamie Flanagan is in the house. Hello, Jamie.
Hey,
he's hanging out. I guess he just wanted to see our handsome faces.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wanted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe. Who knows?
What
I don't know why you would be here, but it's crazy. Not like he owns a company or anything.
Whoop. Where's that bell? Ding.
Ding. Where is it?
It's over there. I'll get it.
We need a ding real quick. There we go. Yeah, we need the bell in the center so I can get to it.
Oh, it's Jamie's favorite tool.
Is it? There we go.
No, it's not really.
So let me tell you, folks, to start off, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Check it out. All kinds of info there. If you want shows, if you want personal sessions, if you want to look information about my book, all of it's on the website.
Okay.
Tons of info there. Check it out. Take a look. Again, if you're interested in a show, I am kind of free for the next month and a half or so. So reach out. You can get a quote online within minutes. You don't have to talk to anybody unless you want to talk to somebody. You can, but you don't have to.
Huh.
That's the beauty of technology nowadays. You can get a quote online within minutes.
Just minutes.
My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat and Instagram are both Motor City Hypno. That is HYPNO. And as we do every single episode, we give away a free hypnosis guide. It's a 2-page PDF that I wrote. It just kind of explains in basic terms what hypnosis is, what it's not, how it works, myths and misconceptions. You can get that for totally free by texting the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510.
Huh.
And that phone number will be in the show notes as well. Also, wherever you're listening, whatever platform you're on, whether it be Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, whatever, join, connect, whatever it is on your platform.
Yeah,
that
you have
connect
to
with
blood sample.
You have to, something, whatever,
all that
questionnaire, something like that.
Mother's maiden name,
whatever it is, connect to it. So that way you get the episodes whenever they drop, and wherever you're listening, whatever platform you're on, Please leave a review. That would be super helpful. And yeah, that just helps us get out to more people and get more visibility.
Perfect.
Absolutely. And leave a review.
Oh yeah,
that's a big thing.
Yep,
because that helps us.
Just leave it, whatever it is.
Yep. Yeah, and hopefully it's good.
Okay,
that would be a plus.
I'll take it.
Hopefully. All righty, it is time for our winner of the week.
Okay.
That's how winning is done.
So last episode, somebody broke their foot.
Somebody broke their foot, and a bunch of random strangers showed up to carry her down the mountain.
So what do we got this?
This is about a little kid.
Okay,
6-year-old.
Oh.
Torn between volunteering and dream of adopting a cat, a 6-year-old starts a business.
Okay.
All right. This is Luca Arpin, better known to his neighbors as Poopa Scoopa Luca.
Go on.
Oh, good for you.
Go on.
His moniker is well earned, as the 6-year-old styled himself the neighborhood's #1 person to call for cleaning up after dogs and cats.
Go on.
People hate picking up dog poop, said the first grader from Warwick, Massachusetts. I agree. I hate picking up poop.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I mean, they're 6. You know, he got tired of picking up his own crap.
Well, I mean,
so.
I'm 60. We're almost 60. I don't like picking up poop.
Well,
who likes that? Who likes to pick up poop?
Luca does. Go on.
Anyway, Luca said, people hate picking up dog poop. You're right, Luca. Absolutely. Said the first grader from Warwick. Speaking with WJAR, Arpin said he has an appreciation for all things tidy and prefers cleaning up above other activities. His rate is $15 per dog or $20 for multiple dogs.
Okay.
He even has his own business card.
Good for him.
Yeah. His mother says that volunteering is one of their family's core values. She and Luca have an enduring love for animals, and together they have fostered 98 four-legged friends through her work at a local animal shelter.
He's paying for college at the age of 6.
Yes.
Keep going.
What blew me away, though, let me read that sentence again. They have fostered 98 four-legged friends over the years.
That's
98 dogs or cats.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, good for them, because more people, I would love more people to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He is the first to fold laundry or mop a floor, Luca's mother said, and that his tendencies tend to offer his help pro bono at the shelter slowly landed him in a predicament where he wanted to afford to permanently adopt a cat, but he couldn't afford to do so.
Okay.
Asking mom how he could earn money, the two settled on the poo patrol, which he says is work that he doesn't mind at all. I have the coolest kid in the entire world, said his mother proudly.
Sure.
It didn't take long for Luca to save enough money to bring Pebble, a little female kitten he decided he couldn't live without, into the busy embrace of their home. Luca continues to work raising money, which he hopes can go to help other animals.
Oh, not for him.
So he's raising money, not for himself, but to help other animals.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, isn't it? That's just a cool story. Whenever I see little kids doing something to make money, I'm like, why can't my kid be like that?
Wow.
Oh, great Odin's raven.
Thank good. There we go.
Jesus, man.
I'm joking. My kid's fine.
Your kid is great.
He doesn't listen anyway, so I can make a joke at his expense.
You say that, and it'll be the show that they listen to.
Well, yeah, he's probably on right now.
Yeah.
He'll probably just pipe into face. No, he doesn't use Facebook, so we're safe there.
Yeah.
So anyway, Luca, the pooper scooper.
Yeah, Poopa Scoopa Luca.
And worked to get his own pet.
Or was it Luca the Poopa Scoopa?
Luca the Poopa Scoopa.
Actually,
it's Poopa Scoopa Luca.
Okay, got it.
That's what the neighbors refer to him as. Luca Arpin.
All right.
Definitely our winner of the week.
That's how winning is done.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but you need to change the diet for your dog, because I've been checking this feces for fiber and there's not enough here.
Feces.
Dennis Leary, you start teching your own feces for fiber. You have too much fucking time on your hands.
So, back to it.
Okay, so let's go back to quarter life crisis.
Yes. Well, before that,
It's quite pungent. Stings the nostrils.
it does.
Oh, yeah.
Poop does. Yes. It's quite pungent.
Does it?
I don't know.
I don't
Just
know.
saying.
My shit don't say.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. So, folks, we are back for quarter life crisis, part 4. So we ended up last time talking about stage 2, which is separation. And a long story, just to condense it so we can move on to the next step here, it's an isolation and turning to coping things like alcohol, drugs, video games, pornography, just things to distract yourself from your real life. It's these escape things.
Yep.
So stage 2B, this is the next one, is what we call timeout. So this is a big mistake that people make. A lot of people make.
Did they sit in the corner too long?
Maybe. they could have.
I ain't listening to you no more.
So when they think that once they separate and isolate, once I'm mentally checked out, like just mentally checked out,
sure,
I need to retreat back into life. Because I don't like this feeling. Like I don't like feeling isolated. I don't feel like I'm mentally checked out. So they try to go back. So let's say they go to see a therapist, which is always a good idea.
Sure.
You know, if you need one, if you find a good one, that's the caveat to that. You have to have a good therapist because and I've been in this business for 32 years.
But people stress out about trying to find a therapist too.
No, and I know this is a difficult situation. And we're going to do an episode specifically on that coming up. I feel like that's a necessary one. How to choose the right therapist.
Oh, I love that.
I think that'll be a good one. But what happens is, again, they do what everybody else does. They try to move back into life. They might get a therapist. They're trying to learn how to accept. They try to learn, how to make the old life work or how to make their new situation work. So the issue, though, is that it's moving back into your old life in a way. It's like, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to go back to the way things were.
Okay.
And that's kind of the catch that happens. So I would say that phase 2B is kind of like a timeout after the separation phase. We're going to call this a timeout. So it's kind of like saying, okay, I'm done with this. I just need a moment to kind of get myself together, kind of refocus, kind of figure out what I want to do. It's kind of like just stepping back and saying, I don't need to do anything at this moment, but I need to start thinking about what my path might be.
So
what direction I'm going in.
So as a therapist, when you're talking to somebody who is in that timeout stage, and you want them to continue moving forward, is it something that you may ask them, what was it that you were doing that was making you happy that you can continue to do, and then work in new habits around that?
Well, and see, that's the challenge with this quarter life crisis, because most of the time, and I'm not one of those people, I might be an exception, but most people would say, oh man, high school was the best time in the world. Whatever. I had friends. I went out. I had fun.
But the question I was kind of alluding to was, taking pieces that you were motivated about. Nothing about high school, but what were you doing that was making you happy, that made you feel like you were contributing to your future and contributing to society, to the community? Pick those things out and then kind of mold your next choice or 2 or 4 or 5 around that, so you can continue to be happy.
Right. No. Yeah. That makes sense.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here is,
that makes sense.
As a therapist, I'm not a therapist, but I'm just saying, what would a therapist ask somebody in that regard?
I would say we need to develop a clear vision of what you want.
Okay. That's fair.
That's
very
the best
fair
way to put it, because most people don't know what they want. Most adults who are in careers don't know what they want. I'm serious. I have so many people, like when Jamie came in. Jamie's a teacher. If you guys don't know, I know Jamie's been on a few times on the podcast, but I talked to a lot of teachers, and a lot of them are like, I don't enjoy this. I don't like it.
I just want to retire.
I don't want to do it. 15 months. Because
countdown.
There we go.
15 months.
Let me get in near the mic. There we go. So a lot of people end up in these careers and jobs and lives that they don't enjoy. They're not fulfilled. They're not getting what they want out of it. So what happens in this study and what they said, when you feel mentally checked out and you kind of regress, is that once you feel that, and then you start to want to avoid anything that could move you forward. And that means, and here's a great example.
And that's in this timeout phase?
Yeah. In the timeout phase.
Okay.
Because what people will do then is they'll say, well, okay, well, you know what? This sucks. So I'm going to just do something different. And what the biggest thing, and I've seen this with clients many, many times, is they decide to move. Well, I don't like it here. I'm going to move to California. I'll be better there.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't resolve the issue.
No,
it just puts it in a different place.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You still have the same issues.
Yeah. Absolutely. You still have the same issues. So this phase 2B is kind of an avoidance of the future. You have to get to the point where you say, I need to abandon the old way of doing things and find some new way to do things. And that's very difficult for people to do.
Yeah.
Because again, we're used to just being comfortable.
Yeah. Well, they're not even comfortable yet.
That's true. You're right. Because at that point they're unhappy.
They're unhappy. They're not even comfortable in their own skin. They have no idea.
And the issue is that they don't see a resolution.
Right.
And that's the problem.
They
get into the stuck phase.
They have an idea in the back of their head. This is who I want to be and what I want to do, but they don't know how to get there.
And here's where therapy could help, because most people, when they look to change, they're like, well, if only if I had a job, I'd be happier. If I had a girlfriend, I'd be happier. If I made a lot of money, I'd be happier.
Okay.
I mean, these are
Pump
like
the brakes there, Coachies.
No,
okay, hold on a second.
That's part of the problem.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
What's that?
Yes.
Just pump the brakes on that for a second.
Yes.
You said, if I find a job, if I find a girlfriend, I'll be happier.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yes.
Let's digress on that for a second.
Okay, sure.
You find a girlfriend. Let's start there. Will you be happy? Probably for the first little bit, but then dates, money. Oh, I need to get a job now. I need to make more money. Now you're putting yourself right back where you were before.
Here's the thing I've said, and when I say it, you'll get it, Matt. When people are unhappy, they think external things will make them happy.
Yeah.
Whether it's a car, whether it's money, whether it's a job, whether it's a mate.
Uh-huh.
It only compounds the issue.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, pump the brakes.
Yes. But and that's exactly the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Is that you think these things will make you happy, but until you're happy, until you're happy by yourself,
mm-hmm.
you're not going to be happy with any of those things.
Sure.
It just doesn't work that way. They're not going to resolve your issue. So let's move on to stage 3.
Okay.
This is where we get out of the stuck stage, stages 2 and 2B. Now, phase 3 is exploration. So in this new phase, there are new commitments to goals. You proactively try out different things to see if you would like them. And it's not about finding your total future. It's about finding out what clicks with you.
Sure.
Things that you might enjoy, things that will make you feel satisfied.
Right.
And this exploration can take a long time. And that's why you see people a lot of times, they'll have, like, from ages 18 to 30, they'll have like 15 jobs.
Right.
Because they're looking for something. They're looking for something that fits or something that they can enjoy. And it's this whole exploration phase. It's about finding your identity in an open-ended way. You're not locked in any specific path. You're just searching.
Emma Watson, who played
Hermione
Granger, Hermione Granger.
Yep.
She said something a few years back. She was practicing being self-partnered. And that meant, not, she was dating, what have you, but it's really being with yourself and being comfortable with yourself, and then finding your stride and then moving forward and just self-partnering yourself to understand who you are. And I really, that kind of spoke volumes to me. And that's where the stage 3 that we're in, right?
Stage 3, exploration.
That's where this is starting to come to fruition with the self-partnering. So if you have a second, folks that are interested in learning what she did for herself to learn who she was and what she wanted to do, it's a really nice way of thinking to take yourself to that next step, I feel. So
and again, the issue in this stage, this stage that we call exploration, is that you can't go back to what people expected of you or what you think people want of you or what you've been told to do. This is where you have to kind of develop your own view, your own idea of what would make you happy.
Right.
So here's the thing I've told, and I know this doesn't work for everyone, because it's any field you go into, there are going to be challenges, whatever job you have. But I've told people, I've asked clients, I said, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy doing? What is it that you do that brings you happiness? And I had one client say to me, and I remember this distinctly because they said, I like to watch TV and movies. Like, all right. So is there a way to monetize that?
Sure.
And they're like, no. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
With social media now and YouTube?
Yeah.
Do you know how many reaction channels there are out there?
Yes, I do. I'm reacting right now. Yeah.
Thousands of them. So, and I'm not saying that's your answer. I'm saying, though, if there's something that you really enjoy, there's probably a pretty good chance you can monetize that.
Sure.
In some form or another.
Right.
Now, to get there, that's going to be some work.
Right.
But this is what this exploration phase is about. It's like finding out, what do I really like? What do I enjoy? What are the things that make me happy? How can I implement that into a career?
Yeah.
Now, again, that's challenging and it's a lot of work, but the end result is much more satisfying than just doing what you're told.
Fair.
Because it's something you enjoy. That's the whole point.
Huh.
So here's the thing. In that situation, like I said, there's no right answer. It's something that an individual has to figure out for themselves. So the exploration phase has to happen in order for you to move out of that stuck phase. And again, this may take some time. You're not going to figure this out in a week. It might take months. It might take a couple of years.
Got to be patient.
It doesn't know. I don't know. It depends on the person. But as long as you're working towards that, at least at that point, there's some positive feelings that, oh, okay, now I'm looking for something I really enjoy. Now I feel like I have a purpose.
Be like Luca.
Be like Luca. Absolutely.
Honestly.
It's quite pungent. Stings the nostrils.
So be it.
Yeah,
be like Luca.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't love poop, but it doesn't bother him.
No, it doesn't.
He's making a living.
Right.
Well,
he's
not a living.
He's looking for
a 6-year-old. He's doing well.
Exactly.
Yes. Absolutely.
Be like Luca. Have the mentality of Luca and find something that's going to bring you pleasure and it's going to bring people around you.
Absolutely. So here's what we're going to do, folks. We have a couple of stages left. And again, I want to make sure we get to these, but that's okay because
I love it.
These are important steps. We have another stage and then our conclusion. So we're going to wrap that up next episode.
Perfect.
With Quarter Life Crisis Part 5.
You know what? It takes a village.
Sometimes it takes a long time.
It takes a while.
Now, and here's the thing, and I want to stress this. I could condense this all into 20 minutes, but it's going to be very superficial. You're not going to get what you need out of it.
Right.
It's really just like, hey, look at that. See ya. See you later.
No, you're doing the right thing.
You have a brain like a chicken.
Bucka.
So we will be back with Quarter Life Crisis Part 5 on next episode. So join us every Monday evening from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. We record live. You can watch it live. You can engage with the show, ask questions, have a conversation, whatever you like. Yeah, and you can see us. That might not be preferential for a lot of you, but maybe you don't want to see us, but that's okay.
Well,
but join us every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can join us live for the show.
Please do.
Before we leave, somebody needs to be adopted.
Oh, we had Kisa last episode.
Kisa was last. It's Casper. Very similar names.
Okay. Kisa and Casper.
Casper needs a home.
Oh, hold on. Let me help you out here.
He was born in 21.
Okay.
So he's a couple years old.
Okay.
He's a Bichon mix.
Oh.
Neutered male.
Okay.
He's about 25 pounds.
It's a big Bichon.
Dog friendly. He's selective.
Aw.
Cat friendly, unknown.
Okay.
He prefers adults.
It's a
is what it says with kid friendly.
It's a Bichon.
But look at this. Look.
Oh my goodness. Come on. What a cute little puppy.
You can get both of them, Matt.
It's a Bichon.
Kisa and Casper. Take him home. Give him to Holly.
All right. Casper is pretty cute.
Yeah, look at Casper. Look at Casper up close there, Matt.
Casper is pretty cute. I will give him that. Small, medium, 25 pounds. Okay. All right. But I see the ears and I'm thinking Labrador.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So one lab got really lucky. And I see, in the face. Yep. Bichon with the fur and the legs. Yeah. I see it.
Yep.
I do see it.
So Casper needs a home. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt.
Smart.
Casper's there.
Smart yet cuddly.
He wants a home. He needs a home.
He's a cute
It's a
puppy.
male. I just want to make sure I was using the right pronoun. Yes.
It's a they.
Yeah. It's a him. It's
Okay.
a him.
All right.
So he's good.
Fair enough.
Casper needs a home. DetroitDogRescue.com. All right, folks. That's it for today. We'll be back next week. Next Monday, join us on Facebook Live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're listening on audio, wherever you're listening, wait for the next episode to drop. It'll be there Tuesday or Thursday. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. I'll see you next time.
Bye.